Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Audible. Hello, Thomas. Thomas, Neha, am I audible? Yes.
Yes.
Good afternoon. So can we wait for another 1 minute? Few of you did not join. Neha, am I audible? Neha?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Good. Okay, shall we start? Let others join. If possible, you can have your one notepad with you. Am I audible clearly or I have to raise my voice?
Yes, you're audible, sir.
Audible clearly.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Only can you bring the clip, the curtain? Is my PPT visible for you?
Yes, sir.
So, good afternoon once again. Today I'll be taking the theoretical part of computer-aided drug design. Yesterday, we have discussed about the learning outcomes. I hope it's clear for you now. Yes? Is this clear, the learning outcome? Is it clear for you?
Yes,
Yes?
sir.
Okay,
Yes.
fine. So, and yesterday we have discussed about that how drug is interacting to the target, right? And given many more example also. And their mechanism of binding also we have discussed. Two ways of their so mechanism of binding, right? One was like a reversible binding, irreversible binding, right? And there are different mode of bindings are there, as we say about either maybe the enzyme inhibitor, receptors, antigen antibodies, ion channel blockers, and DNA blockers, transporters, right? Okay. So these all are the things where drugs really acting as inhibitors, as activators, as initiators, as a blockers, right? Okay. So these are the drugs properties are there, right? So now this slide we did not discuss, I hope, right? Yes. Okay.
So we will discuss.
So if we talk about this quantum mechanics and molecular mechanics, you may think about like how the drugs really is changing the behavior or showing the behaviors, right, on the target site, right? Computationally, you say that, right, through programming, by using the algorithm, by using different tools, softwares, techniques, right? How the drugs will be showing their behaviors, right? So of course, these are the heroes, right? Are there behind this entire picture. There are three heroes are there for this, right? Okay. So one is that quantum mechanics, another is the molecular mechanics, and third one is the molecular dynamics, right? So these three mechanics or dynamics, or you can say that techniques, or you say that assumptions, theorem, right, which really impacting a lot, right, in drug design, right? Okay. So you can say that you in quantum mechanics in physics already you have been studied before, right? What is quantum mechanics, molecular mechanics, and molecular dynamics, right? But we'll be talking one by one about. You can recall the things which I have discussed from starting itself about this molecular modeling techniques. Of course, we can say these three parameters as a molecular modeling techniques. And first class, we have discussed about that structure-based drug designs are there, ligand-based drug design are there, right? Okay, isn't it? In structure-based drug design, we call the direct design where the structure receptor is known, right? And crystal structures. In structure-based drug design, you can say that here is mentioned that crystal structure analysis. So crystal structure, what is crystal structures, right? So all the structures has been synthesized with some methods, some experimental methods, or some computational methods also, you can say that. Experimental methods, like you can say, like wet lab techniques, right? Where we do all these things by using the chemicals, by using that instrument, okay, by using the different protocol, right? So these are the crystal structures which is synthesized by, you might be familiar with NMR techniques, XRD techniques, right? Are you? X-ray diffractions techniques, right? NMR techniques, Cauchy-Nossi techniques. So these are the techniques which scientists use to synthesize the structure, right? Okay. So that synthesize the structure, now we use crystal for synthesize. That's why we call the crystal structure analysis. And all the synthesized structures through wet lab, we have the databases of those structures. We call that, I'll be demonstrating all those databases also. It's called that protein structure databases, RNA, DNA structure databases, and those 3D structure databases are available for us to explore and get the informations about the entire protein structure, their properties, their molecular weight, their 3D structure, their 2D structure, their synthesized method, their resource of the proteins where it has been extracted, right? And there all the three-dimensional structures, their geometry, every informations are there about those structures in the databases. Of course, we are not going to synthesize the structures by using any lab or things, but we will be retrieving the structure from the databases. That things we can do computationally, right? And we will be demonstrating to you, right? If a structure is not known, can you see my cursor is that? If a structure is not known, so there are many techniques are there computationally, right? In silico methods, where we use those techniques to generate the 3D structure from the sequence. Are you getting? Those things also I'll be demonstrating to you how to generate 3D structure from the sequence, from the raw sequence. So in silico also we can do it. We are doing it. So there are three approaches are there to generate 3D structure from the sequences, right? One is that homology modeling, right? Here, why is mentioned only the homology modeling? It doesn't mean structure-based design is the direct design. Target is known, but the structures which is synthesized through the homology modeling, those structures are also available in our databases. Protein structure databases, RNA structure databases, DNA structure databases, and those structures are of course available. That's why is given that structure-based drug design means structure is known, either this synthesized by the crystal structure method or homology modeling method in silico approach. Is clear? A part of the homology modeling, there are another two methods are there also. One is called the threading methods, another is called the ab initio methods. So computationally, for generating 3D structure, there are three techniques are there, like XRD and NMR in wet lab experimental method. And computational methods, there are one is homology modeling, another is threading, docking you can say, and third one is the ab initio methods, right? Is clear? Right? So in that, if structure is known, direct drug design, then we do the analysis for that protein ligand interactions. So in that 3D structure databases, there are many co-crystal structures are there, co-crystal, many, right? It's clear. So what is co-crystal structure? So co-crystal structures means any other heteroatoms other than the protein which are interacting to the protein. It may be the ligand, it may be the drug type of molecules, it may be that heavy metals, it may be the the water molecules, right? Heavy metals means magnesium, calcium, and others which are interacting to the proteins as a cofactors, or drug type of molecules which are interacting and which is synthesized by these methods like XRD methods, NMR methods, homology modeling method, ab initio methods, or threading methods. Is clear? Is clear? So those things we are analyzing computationally how the protein and ligands are interacting to each other. Is clear? Because everything is known. Structure-based drug design, everything is known. Right? How the interaction is, what is the mechanism of bindings, because receptor is known, drug is interacting to the particular active site, that is also known, what are the interactions are there, that is also known, right? Okay, so that things also we can do, like a original ligand is there, which is binding to the protein, right? That ligand we can modify their functional group, their atoms, or their anything which we can modify and make different molecules, and see that interaction into the same site, same binding site. Are you getting Anna? There are possibilities are there. Their analogs, their derivatives of the particular ligands may give the more binding efficacy than that existing one, which are interacting to that protein. It's clear? Okay. So that's why here is there modification of the ligand within the active site for better binding. It's clear? For better binding, that also we can do. And here if we talk about here ligand binding, ligand based drug design method, there are methods are there, structure activity relationship, 2D and 3D QSR methods are there. By that resources, by that means we are identifying the lead molecules, the best molecules which may have the drug likeness properties, and we also do the analysis of ADMET properties, ADMET properties is called the absorptions of the particular ligand or drugs, dilutions of particular ligand and drugs, metabolism of particular drugs, excretion properties of any particular drugs, and toxicity, toxic property of any drugs. So these are called the ADMET properties: absorptions, dilutions, metabolism, excretions, and toxicity. Are you getting? So we are doing entire analysis of the drug properties, drug-like molecules. So that's why it's called that. Here you can see my cursor in silico. Triple B is there. This is the ADMET properties. Solubility. So drug must be soluble with the water. Otherwise, it will be in that same tablet form. If we are taking syrup, it will not soluble. That means it will be remain in syrup form inside the body and tissue. It will not work, right? It will not mix with the tissues and cells. It will not show. It won't show their effect, right? So drug have the solubility. Like that, drugs also have the absorption properties. It should be absorbed by the tissues and cells, right? So these are the CACO2 toxicity prediction and all is called that absorption properties and all. So like the dilution properties, excretion properties. So there are plenty, hundreds of properties are there for the drugs in terms of the solubility, absorption, excretion, metabolism, toxicity, right? Okay. So there are many. And by that analysis, we are predicting, by those properties, we are predicting the activity. By using those properties, we are predicting the activity, right? And through that, we are optimizing, identifying the lead molecule, and then once we identify, there are techniques are there to optimize the lead molecule. Once we optimize the lead molecule, we are hoping for the lead compound, which must have the drug-like properties. It's clear? It's clear or not? So these are the, then we go for this. After this, we go to pharmacophore. You can see that pharmacophore development. Then these are the analysis parts, analysis part of the drugs. So where we see that atomic orientation into the receptor site, pharmacophore development, and hits from the databases. Once we identify the lead molecule, then we will search from the databases how many molecules are similar to this molecule, to my molecules from the database search. So these are the one of the part for the analysis, and then we prioritize the hits based on that database search. Is clear? Is clear? Yes. Okay. These are the later stage we'll be discussing in detail. So now here you can say that molecular mechanics, molecular modeling, and computer-aided drugs design. Molecular mechanics, two parts are there: molecular mechanics and quantum mechanics. In molecular mechanics, there are two parts are there: structure-based drug design, that we call the target-based drug design, And another part is the ligand-based drug design, that QSR studies, pharmacophore mapping, 2D and 3D QSR, right? So in that, if you say that for ligand-based drug design, the target is not known, it's already clearly mentioned here. Structure-based drug design, target known, receptor enzymes. Here, receptor enzymes are not known, three-dimensional structure. So here is, we know the specific binding site surrounding that co-crystal ligand, as we say that. Other than the protein, RNA and DNA, other molecule which are interacting to that protein, RNA and DNA is called the co-crystal structure. Co-crystal structure, you can assume like two structures which are binding at a place. It's called the co-crystal. That's why co-crystal structure. Crystal structure is one protein. Co-crystal. Other also drug type or ligand type or small molecule which are binding to the protein. Binding form of two molecules is called the co-crystal structure, right? And that can be justified by that interaction studies. If target is not known, then homology modeling of target protein and receptors we are doing. Homology modeling approaches we are using for generating the 3D structures. Yes, it's clear, right?
Yes.
And then we are, by using this approach, we are identifying the binding site also, because here is target is unknown. That of course binding site also is unknown. But in this case, structure-based drug design, everything is known. In this case, target is unknown. Then of course binding site is unknown, where drug is interacting with the binding site. It's clear. So next thing is that identifying the binding site in a homology modeling approach, which we have generated, which we have used for generating 3D structures. Yes. So specify the binding site, then we have to specify the binding site. So there are many methods are there to specify the binding site. That actually these are the techniques which we use. We need template structure. We need for generating 3D structures, right? We need template. We need known structure also, right? And that template can be searched throughout the databases. And our new generated structure must have that all the properties which the template structure is having. Are you getting or not? There are approaches are there we'll be talking about. But now at this stage, at this junction only, you have to know their 3D structure is unknown, and we have to find the 3D structure, and then binding site is unknown, of course. Then we have to specify the binding site, and then do the interaction study once we specify the binding site. Is clear? So molecular mechanics, already we have discussed this entire parameters which will returns the energy in terms of the conformational change. And their conformational change is due to that either bond length interruptions, bond length between two atoms, this is the two atoms, bond length, or torsional between the three atoms, or dihedrals, angular distance between the three atoms, and dihedral between the four atoms. These all only the interaction is possible, no? Right? Between two atoms, between three atoms, between four atoms, right? Okay. So these are the interaction, and that due to that interaction, the structure will change their conformations. Right? It's clear. And due to that conformational change, it will return the energy values. It's clear. And that is called the molecular mechanics. Molecular mechanics force field. So molecular mechanics force field can be defined as a mathematical equation or functions which returns energy in terms of their conformational change. Here chalk and boards are not there, so I cannot write. Right? Okay. So you may write this definition. That definition I did not mention in PPT. So this molecular mechanics force field which will returns the energy in terms of the conformational change, and that conformational change will be either made the bonded interactions or non-bonded interactions. Okay, bonded interaction will be bond length, bond angle, torsional angle, and non-bonded interaction will be electrostatical interaction and van der Waal interactions.
Can you repeat the
Van der Waal also is called a hydrophobic interaction. Those type of interaction is not visible, but interaction will be there. Two charges are interacting or repelling to each other. Two different charges are interacting So it's not visible now, but it's interacting. Two magnetic pole are similar magnetic pole are repelling, and different magnetic pole are interacting. But can you see? No, it's not visible, right? Isn't it? So like that, hydrophobic interaction also will be there, right? So some interaction will not be visible. So non-bonded interaction will be either electrostatical interaction or van der Waal interactions. So molecular mechanics is more popular method used to obtain the molecular model. It is very simple use, less computing time, and it will returns the total potential energy, attractive and repulsions, forces, atoms in the structures. So molecular models, already you know that these models also can be understood by the Hooke's law, where balls are connected with the spring, right? Through the Boltzmann constant and all, you have studied before, right? Isn't it? Their bond length and things. So mechanical like this. So this is the overall formula of the molecular mechanics, which will returns E total energy expressed mathematically by equation is called the force field. That's why now I'm coming to the topic. That is called the force field. And that force field will return the energy, total energy, in terms of the E stretching means bond length, energy of between the two atoms. Stretching, E bending means bond angle, energy of angular distance, energy due to the angular distance. Yes, can you see my cursor? And energy due to the torsional distortions, right? Torsional dihedral angle, and van der Waal line, energy due to the van der Waal interaction, energy due to the electrostatical interactions. Is clear? So this entire calculation which will returns the energy, and this entire things is expressed mathematically by force field. Are you getting? So this molecular mechanism force field, which returns the energy in terms of the bonded and non-bonded interaction. So these are the bonded interaction. These three parameters is bonded interaction. E stretching, E bending, E torsional is bonded. And non-bonded interaction will be van der Waal and electrostatic. Right? Is clear? So molecular mechanism calculation normal based on that isolated structure at 0K. Don't take into account to affect that environment of the structures. So now quantum mechanics, already you know that it is that electronic based, right? And their entire quantum will be represented as a wave function. And it can be represented as a Schrodinger equations. And there are two types are there, time dependent and time independent Schrodinger equations. Is clear? Right? Now is quantum mechanics. So wave-like properties will be there in all the material types. So mathematical wave functions apply to the electronic and atomic structures. So Schrodinger wave function h nu and e nu, time dependent parameters will be there and time independent parameter will be there, and it can be calculated as a potential and kinetic energy in terms of the Schrodinger equation, in terms of the wave function. In Schrodinger equation we use the wave functions, right? And already you know that E equal to h nu, right? Planck's constant h nu, right? Energy in the quantum h nu. That equation we use here, right? So quantum mechanics is useful for calculating the ionization potential, electronic affinity, total dipoles, physical properties of atoms, heat of formations and all we use. I'll be showing 1-2 softwares on this if possible, right? Okay, how to calculate these parameters based on the quantum mechanics and even the molecular mechanics also. So it calculates the probability of finding the electrons, right? Okay, so already you know that energy will be gain or loss, right? If electron jumps from lower to higher orbit, energy will be gained. Yes, electron will jump from lower to higher, then energy will be gained. Higher to lower, energy will be lost, right? Lower to higher, energy will be consumed, right? Energy will be gained, right? So to calculate that, now only 10 minutes are there. So it makes possible determine most likely point in which the structure will react. So I'll be little fast because so molecular mechanics versus quantum mechanics. If you say that quantum mechanics methods deals with the electron inner systems and the calculations very much time consuming will be there. In the counterpart in molecular mechanics, ignore the electronic motion, calculate energy of the system as a functions of the nuclear positions only. So that's why molecular mechanics also always will be mapped with that atomic positions. Always. Their velocity, their accelerations, right? Their force terms, everything. And this is also less time consuming, right? So of course, we are correlating this quantum mechanics and molecular mechanics for validating our studies. So drug design studies based on the molecular mechanics. Already you know that target-based drug design, structure-based drug design, ligand-based drug design, target known, target unknown, docking and ligand, finding lead molecule. And here also from the ligand-based drug design, our objective is to find the lead molecules, right? And once we find the lead molecules, we have to optimize the lead molecule. Once we optimize the lead molecule, we have to fetch from the databases and see the number of hits, right? Okay. So pharmacophore and 3D QSR studies. So structure-based drug design, as I mentioned before that, structure-based drug design, the molecular target can be isolated from the crystal structures, crystallized, then the structure will determine using X-ray crystallography. So the structure is not given information about the binding site. Many structure will be the without any type of interaction, means only the crystal, not co-crystal will be there, right? Only the structure will be there. Only the protein structure will be there. There is no binding of other molecule, other ligand type molecules, any heavy type molecules or water molecules which will be interacting. Only that pure protein will be there. Are you getting or not? So those things, co-crystal structure of proteins, where to with the inhibitor inside, where is the active site? These are the questions are there. What is the distance of between the inhibitors and binding sites? The possible bound between the inhibitors and binding sites. So how to use co-crystal structure in drug design, right? That things I will be demonstrating to you. First, the inhibitors will be removed from the active sites because co-crystal structure, no, inhibitors will be there with the protein. So we have to remove the inhibitors. Then enzyme structure will be the minimized. Then only the enzyme structure or protein will be there. That structure may be minimized by the lowest energy methods that I will be demonstrating to you. And then lead compounds will be inserted into the dock site, binding sites, many others from the external resources. And then we have to find the best fit compounds. So these are that, and these are the structures can be, these are the protein, can be taken from the protein data bank, right? Receptor is there, ligand is there, and you can say that in this protein structure, this is the binding site, active site or binding site. Can you see the orange box? Okay, I'll be also showing this type of orange box while making the binding site, active site predictions. So receptor is there, protein is there, and the potential inhibitors are there. There are many thousands of inhibitors will be like this, have the similar scaffold, similar type of structures, having similar type of functional groups, similar scaffold of the structures and all, right? Then we have to make that crystal form, co-crystal form, where protein plus inhibitors will be there, which will be interacting as a protein and inhibitors. And then those drugs can be used as a future drugs here, right? By doing many steps, right? So we will see that all this analysis will be doing at this site, interaction sites. By that way, we will be concluding that this molecule can be used as a drug, right? Later stage. Of course, it will go through that many clinical trials, right? Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and many approval from different agencies like IND, NDA, FDA, and all, right? It's clear. So now molecular docking. So that's why interactions of two molecules with the lowest conformation. Yesterday I have asked you to hold your hand tightly, right? The same example says there. So our objective is to find the lowest energy conformations, binding conformations, right? Where energy will be very low. So molecule will not able to show their behaviors. If energy will be high, then we will show the behaviors, right? Isn't it? So we have to map that the energy values, lowest energy conformation binding of the ligand. So lock and key, right? Once you open the lock, open the lock, right? Key is going and fitting to that lock site in the same conformation, right? How the keys structure is there, right? So key is not having other energy to do except that open the lock, showing the effect. Open the lock. No other than this, right? So these are the lock and key methods. We showed that compound that bind that perfectly into the active sites having minimum energy as considerable as a drug molecule, right? The process of docking ligand and binding site mimics the natural course of the interaction of the ligand, which must have the lowest energy bonds. Why docking? Drug was interacting with the biological receptor enzymes. Suddenly it will close, right? It will stop, right? If you have any question, you can ask, right? So docking helps to decide candidate drugs appropriate with the target proteins, examine binding models, known ligand, then screen databases 3D structure and drug interaction analogs. So types of dockings will be there: ligand protein docking, protein protein docking, protein DNA interactions. So ligand protein, small molecule and big molecule protein. This type of proteins will be there. So mode of binding will be different, right? So some will be the flexible binding, rigid binding, right? Okay, flexible binding where both the molecules will be flexible. Protein-protein interaction and protein-DNA interactions. So always two molecules is required, types of dockings, right? So here is approaches for the docking: rigid body docking, semi-flexible docking, and flexible docking. So rigid body docking where enzyme will be rigid, target will be rigid. Semi-flexible docking, ligand will be flexible, target will be rigid. And flexible docking, both the things will be flexible, right? Target and ligand will be the flexible. So target will change and ligand will be changed their conformation to fit into the site. And the semi-flexible, where is the ligand will be flexible, ligand will be, target will be rigid. Ligand will change their conformation and fit into the site. And for rigid body docking, both the things will be rigid. It has to adjust so the behavior to fit into this. It will not change the conformations, right? It will be rigid, both the things, right? So it's a rigid body dockings. So approaches for this docking. So these are the things are there. Now you can understand, right, easily. Shall go to the next slide. Only 2 minutes are there, right? Okay. So now once we do these things, how to analyze these things? How to analyze these things, right? So there are many scoring functions are there to analyze our interactions, our docking, right? So shall I stop here itself? That is called the fitness score and all. So if I start, I am not able to complete, right? So if you have any questions, you can ask. Till this, scoring functions we'll be discussing tomorrow. I am half of the way because once we discuss all these things, that will be easy you to explore or to use that different tools, right? To do the analysis and things, right? You should know that concept. If you have any question, you can ask, please.
Sir,
Yeah.
what do you mean by docking exactly? Like,
Yeah, please.
What
You
happens
can
in
be
the
a little loudly.
So what do you mean by docking exactly, sir? Like, what happens in the process of docking?
Sharon, you are not audible. Not able to hear anything.
Sir, my doubt was, you can't hear me, sir.
No, I can't hear you.
Okay. Should I type it or something then?
No, I'm not able to hear you.
Sir, I'll text it on WhatsApp, sir.
Yeah, now it's okay. Just, yeah, please repeat
So
your
what do you
question.
mean? What do you mean by docking, sir? What exactly happens in that process?
What do you mean by docking?
How?
Interactions of two molecules. Interactions of two molecules. One drug type molecules is there, one enzyme is there, protein is there. How it's interacting and fitting to each other. In general terms, we say that interactions of two molecules is called the docking. Is this your question?
Yes.
Is this
So
your
final
question?
stage interaction. Yes.
Still you are
Yes,
not
sir. Yes, sir.
audible.